Hello and welcome to another episode of the English Success Podcast. My name is John.
And I'm Sarah. We're thrilled to have you with us today.
Before we get started, let's take a moment to recap what we discussed in our last episode. We focused on improving your English fluency, exploring the importance of regular practice, expanding your vocabulary, and honing your listening skills. If you haven't had a chance to listen to that episode yet, I highly recommend going back and checking it out.
Absolutely, John. Those tips are foundational to building fluency, which is why they're so crucial. Today, we're going to build on that by addressing a specific challenge that many learners face: overcoming pronunciation difficulties. This is a critical area because even if you have a great vocabulary and understand grammar well, pronunciation can still make a significant difference in how effectively you communicate.
Pronunciation can indeed be a challenging aspect of learning English, but with the right techniques and practice, it's something that can be significantly improved. In today's episode, we'll discuss common pronunciation issues, practical tips for improvement, and exercises that you can do to make your speech clearer and more understandable.
So, whether you're struggling with specific sounds or just want to refine your overall pronunciation, this episode will be packed with valuable insights. Let's get started.
1. Common pronunciation challenges. Let's kick off by identifying some of the most common pronunciation challenges that English learners often encounter. One of the primary difficulties is dealing with the variety of vowel sounds in English. Unlike many other languages, English has a wide range of vowel sounds, and some of them can be quite difficult to distinguish and pronounce correctly.
For example, consider the difference between the short I sound in ship and the long E sound in sheep. These two sounds might seem similar, but they can completely change the meaning of a word. Mispronouncing these sounds is a common issue, but with focused practice, you can master them.
Another frequent challenge is the pronunciation of consonants like the heath sound, which is present in words like think and this. This sound doesn't exist in many languages, which leads learners to substitute it with S or Z sounds. However, this substitution can lead to misunderstandings in communication.
Additionally, many learners struggle with the concept of word stress and intonation in English. Unlike in some languages where the stress pattern is consistent, English words can have stress on different syllables, and this stress can even change the meaning of a word. For example, the word record can be a noun or a verb depending on where the stress is placed.
Intonation is another area that can affect the naturalness of your speech. Using the correct intonation can make your English sound more fluent and engaging, while incorrect intonation might make your speech sound flat or even confusing to listeners.
2. Practical tips for improving pronunciation. Now that we've identified these common challenges, let's dive into some practical tips that can help you improve your pronunciation. The first tip is to immerse yourself in listening to native speakers. Whether through podcasts, movies, or conversations, listening carefully to how words are pronounced is crucial. Try to mimic the pronunciation you hear, paying attention to the details like mouth shape, tongue position, and breath control.
Recording yourself is another powerful technique. When you record your speech, you can play it back and compare it to the pronunciation of native speakers. This will help you identify areas where you may need to improve, and over time, you'll notice progress in your pronunciation.
Using visual aids can also be extremely helpful. There are many online resources that show you exactly how to position your mouth and tongue to produce specific sounds. For example, to produce the sound correctly, you need to place your tongue between your teeth and push air out gently. Watching videos or diagrams can make this process much easier to understand and practice.
A fun way to improve your pronunciation is by using tongue twisters. These are phrases that are designed to be difficult to say quickly because of similar sounds or patterns. Practicing tongue twisters can help you improve your articulation and speed, making your overall pronunciation clearer.
Another tip is to focus on minimal pairs, which are pairs of words that differ by just one sound, like bat and bet. Practicing these pairs can help you tune your ear to hear the subtle differences between similar sounds and produce them accurately.
3. Exercises to enhance pronunciation. Moving on to some specific exercises that you can incorporate into your daily routine to enhance your pronunciation. One effective method is called shadowing. In shadowing, you listen to a sentence or a phrase spoken by a native speaker and immediately repeat it, trying to mimic their pronunciation as closely as possible. This exercise helps you get used to the rhythm and intonation of natural English speech.
Another great exercise involves using minimal pairs. By focusing on words that are nearly identical except for one sound, like pat and bat, you can train your brain to recognize and produce subtle differences in pronunciation. This can significantly improve your ability to be understood in conversation.
Mouth and tongue exercises can also be incredibly beneficial, especially for sounds that don't exist in your native language. For example, practice placing your tongue between your teeth for the th sound, or try exaggerated mouth movements to improve the clarity of your vowels.
Practicing C word stress and intonation is also key. A good way to practice stress is by taking a sentence and marking the stressed syllables. Then, practice saying the sentence, emphasizing those syllables. For intonation, try mimicking the rise and fall of pitch in sentences you hear from native speakers.
It's also helpful to use apps or online tools that provide instant feedback on your pronunciation. Many language learning apps now include voice recognition technology that can analyze your pronunciation and provide suggestions for improvement.
4. The importance of feedback and patience. Feedback is crucial when it comes to improving pronunciation. Whether you're getting feedback from a language partner, a teacher, or even from an app, it helps you identify mistakes and make necessary corrections. This feedback loop is essential for making steady progress.
And let's not forget the importance of patience. Pronunciation is something that takes time to improve, especially if the sounds in English are very different from those in your native language. Don't get discouraged if you don't see immediate results. Consistency and perseverance are key.
It's also important to recognize that your goal doesn't have to be perfection. The aim is to be understood and to communicate effectively. Every step forward is progress, and over time, your efforts will pay off.
Celebrate your small victories along the way. Each improvement, no matter how minor it may seem, is a step closer to mastering English pronunciation. 5. Recap and closing remarks. As we wrap up today's episode, let's take a moment to recap what we've covered. We've talked about common pronunciation challenges like vowel sounds, consonants, and intonation, and we've shared practical tips and exercises to help you improve.
Improving pronunciation is a gradual process, but with consistent practice and the right strategies, you'll notice significant progress. Remember, the goal is clear communication, not perfection.
We hope you found today's episode helpful and that you're feeling more confident about tackling pronunciation challenges. Remember to take it one step at a time and to seek out opportunities for practice and feedback.
Thank you for joining us on the Sates So English Success Podcast. Be sure to subscribe so you don't miss any future episodes packed with tips and insights to help you master English. And if you missed our previous episodes, make sure to check them out, especially the one on fluency, as it ties in closely with today's topic.
Until next time, keep practicing, stay patient, and most importantly, enjoy the process of learning. Goodbye and happy learning.
Goodbye, everyone.